We'll see Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Drew Lock and the Denver Broncos.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
We know the arm strength is certainly there. He's got a big-time cannon for an arm, and that's not a surprise. He's the son of a former Major League pitcher, so the bloodlines come into play. The biggest question for Patrick Mahomes, can he harness that big arm, develop the touch that's needed, and carry his team towards the playoffs?
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 62 yards.
I'm so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. The catch made by Miller. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play on 3rd down for the Chiefs. 49 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup.
The 21-yard line.
Now counter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
2-yard line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. We hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. third down. They gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
It's the score. Chiefs 3, Broncos nothing.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here comes the Bronco offense with Drew Lock from Missouri in charge.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mucked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. He'll go up and got his man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. K.J. Hamler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. This time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
A gain of 3.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Broncos 7, Chiefs 3.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here. They go play action here on first down. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 43 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just help receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
A very solid gain of 27. He's fresh off that 3-touchdown performance last week that got him AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so you know that he was already on their radar. Now he's maybe even a bigger plane on their radar.
Bigger plane. I mean, he is the big dot on that screen that they're looking at and saying, how in the heck do we stop him? They're going to try a bunch of different things, different people covering him. But right now, he's locked in and is in sync with his quarterback. This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Taryn give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by, we thought many teams would run the football. But on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them. That feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
KC's offense ready to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to someone else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Able to connect with Mims. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Edwards-Helaire. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Fielded at the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Shotgun snap to Locke. Open man Hamler, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. K.J. Hamler with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep...
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, and it's the Raiders who have the lead in the second.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
1st and 10 at their own.
And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates. And anytime a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing.
That's the best way to put it, but you have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball, the guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you've got to cover him with enough people they throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Now they try the right side here. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
He was taken down behind.
Plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. From from the gun. It's locked. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Block working out of the gun. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The end result, 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. J.K. Dobbins, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Broncos will extend their lead. I thought as that was developing that he might actually keep it, but the right decision, obviously, to hand the football off.
And some teams do a really nice job of taking a little bit longer at the mesh point, meaning where he's going to hand it off or keep it. Sometimes they ride it maybe a step longer than others. That allows him to make the proper decision and have the right person end up with the ball.
And it paid off with a long touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs on 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
At the 28-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got this one completed to Mims. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
He's taken out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Mahomes now to throw. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We're back now in KC. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple drop has.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And they're on the 17-yard line.
And the focus shifts back to Jerry Jeudy and his Bronco teammates. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jerry Jeudy, 83 yards. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown 1 play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
A lot more, especially against Florida.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Once the guys up front, or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Finding Knox there, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 33. Throwing now is Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mahomes. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
over the Phoenix Center. 4 of 7 games he's had about 5.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down, and he's got Miller. And he will have a Chiefs first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well.
Before we go to the next highlight, come back to us.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And again, it's Mahomes. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. And he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will be cut down to 14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Broncos are going to get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, it has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. A lot going to throw it here. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the 2nd wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The Chiefs quickly now got to use the last of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Michael. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Lunt's good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
KC's offense ready to take over. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. Got a man, it's Mims. And he will have the Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope. Yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score,
and this is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice game. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And this time he is in. Yes. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos push further out in front. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Today's
a big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Denver, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Papa John's is known for its crispy, fresh crust full of warm, fluffy toppings. And now they're known for something with toppings. Cheese! Here, you ever stuffed this pizza with one topping with this stuff? You see how far this game goes. It can mean nobody but everybody. We don't move within the lines. We move beyond them. Hence, the spirit of the NBA. Sarah, did you not guys go to 60 pounds on car insurance all over now? So what are you waiting for? That's an AM to help you find a parking spot.
I buy like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on me. I feel the way my heart sleep. That's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Come for the win, can't take another 8. Designer on me, this thing is Chanel. Did they split?
Unlike anything else